As soon as you said my shit is possessed, it's a... As soon as you said my shit is possessed, it's a... What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Okay, here's what I did. I just muted my desktop audio. I don't know why it's doing this. I don't know. I know why. I figured it out. I think I figured it out. It worked. Oh no. I feel like, do I just cancel this freaking stream because I'm like, can't get my ish together? So my video capture device was on. And see, I can still hear music. So it's working. But see, this is gonna bother me now because I can still hear myself twice in my ear. I know why. I had my stream up. Okay, I'm gonna test this out real quick though. Because I think you should hear music now in the background. And you should hear me once. Welcome to streaming with me. I'm so glad that you're wasting your time. Aren't you glad too? Because this is really great, isn't it? So anyway, you know what? So Twitch got rid of their desktop app. So now you have to log on to their website to like make any modifications. And I went in there because I was updating some of the about me information. I was updating like some of the extensions that I had in, which I effed up anyway. Shocker. And then I updated the POAP information. And apparently the tab was up. So here's the deal. This is how we learn, everybody. This is how we learn, because we do shit that's wrong. And then we troubleshoot for 29 hours. And this is what people, you know, come for. And then we learn, and then we don't do it again. And if we do it again, then we go, oh yeah, now I remember the dumb shit that I did. By the way, I'm having a white monster because I was too lazy to go to Quick Check and get a peach one. So, Wicked Khaleesi, hello, lovey. Alyssa, I don't know if you've met Leia Khaleesi. She was my very first guest. So so Leia, oh my god. It was just a hot mess express. I was just like echoing all over the place. Didn't realize that I had my stream up on a tab and it was coming through my ears. I'm like, why is it echoing so bad? And then also I had my camera, like my camera was on, like the sound, and I never ever have it on. So I don't know why it was doing that. I'm trying to actually I'm trying to make it so that you all don't have to look at my my pile of like clothing over at my pile chair. My room's like, I need to like update all my ish, to be honest with you. Anyways, it doesn't matter. We're all friends here, are we not? So we're gonna talk a little bit about community, everybody. I was trying to take notes here, and as I went to go grab my notes, I realized that my daughter had drawn a picture. This is her. She drew a quick self-portrait. Well, I guess while she was waiting for the DoorDash to arrive. So, oh my gosh. So Leia, I have to actually. So I currently have a podcast up on Anchor. And I don't know if you've ever heard of that app, but it's like it's owned by Spotify. And the thing is, like, I can only have one podcast at a time, so I actually have to create a second account with another email, and I'm gonna make it dedicated to my Culture of Gaming. And then once I get that set up, I'm going to upload everything. So once it's uploaded, I'm going to let you know. In the meantime, I do have a link from our episode in my link tree. So if there's anybody out there who missed and you don't see the video on here, because it should still be up on my Twitch site, but there's also a link as well in my link tree. So Leia, if for some odd reason it ever goes away, at least it'll be there. But I also have the copy of it, so I'll of course upload the audio once it's all ready too. So yeah. So everybody that's here will get a POAP. So I actually signed up for this. Speaking of community, so POAP had this a little affiliate spinoff, and they were called POAP.gg. And so what they were trying to do was they were trying to integrate POAPs with live streams for YouTube and for Twitch, mostly for gamers and anybody. I say gamers, but honestly, it's for anybody that's a content creator that streams their stuff, and it's on YouTube and Twitch right now. So I had signed up, and what they did was they created like an integration where they created a command called exclamation POAP, POAP. And if you are to do that, the link sends you over to their landing site. They since renamed themselves revv.gg because they had to kind of distinguish themselves not as part of POAP, but like a separate affiliation. And you just authenticate yourself using Twitch. And then there is a link where you click and you say unclaimed POAPs. So once you type in the word POAP on here, exclamation POAP, it'll tell you if you can claim it within a certain allotted amount of time. But the last 2 times I tried to use it, I've kept running into errors. So what I started to also do when I went through their system, I also created the same thing through POAP, and I was getting it back quicker actually through POAP without any issues. And so right now I'm still doing it kind of like the old-fashioned way. So that's why right now if we do like yeah, I really need to like mod you up, please, see, because I have to like, I'm still like newbie at this. So and also I have the smallest desk in the world, and I'm like trying to fight every cord on the planet. Get my POAP. So get my POAP, you just DM me, and I will send you a link, and then you could collect your POAP. And everybody gets one, yay! And it's animated. It's animated this week. So, so tonight's conversation, even though I'm like 30 something minutes in because I was running a little bit late. So I wanted to talk about gaming communities, and the reason this kind of started was I had recently joined a Discord for women gaming. I should actually get the Discord up. I have a link to their Instagram page in the POAP information. So when you collect your POAP, it'll all be there. But I'm just going to pull something up real quick. So it was really weird. It took me a little while to get approved through them. So you have to like log in, and then I guess they don't have a lot of mods. That's the problem. They don't have a lot of mods, and it took a while for me to like get access to their full Discord, but it's really cool because it's gaming developers, it's women who actually lead gaming companies, lots of indie games, and they share a lot of information. So what they had actually done was they have a topic of the week, and it was like 2 weeks ago. The topic of the week that they had was no POAP for you. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to send you a link. So the topic of the week was, what can gaming developers do to make their communities more welcoming? And so I found that really interesting because there were some really cool answers that actually came out of it. Some women were saying, hey, if they just if they made it more inclusive, so if they brought in characters of different races and ethnicities and backgrounds, and I think that is huge. I also think of games of like World of Warcraft, right, where it's, you know, if you sit in general chat, it's like the sewer, it's like the sewer of gaming. You know, you get every, like, you know, every troll in the universe that sits in general chat and just spams crappy things. And then you get like the gold farmers who are always like, you know, trying to sell you gold and everything like that. It's like the trash, right? But the beautiful part of World of Warcraft is the community piece, and that comes with the guilds. So, you know, once you find a guild, they actually created Guild Finder now too. So they have a Guild Finder within their game, and you can like read about the guild. And so that's something that really spoke to me, is like the onboarding of games needs to be a little bit better. You know, the biggest problem I've found with like, you know, a World of Warcraft type of game, even though it has really great community features, is that there's always people that want to like fuck it up. Like there's always those people that are just like, yeah, you know what, guys? And by the way, I was like guilty of this at one point. You know, there's like these people that want to make, you know, troll guilds. And my friend and I had joined it. And the guild itself, excuse me, while my falling chair, I have to pump it up. It was called Gucci, and we were like, hell yeah, we want to be in Gucci because it's so cool. But what we found out, it was like these young kids, and you can, you know, customize every single rank, and everything was like some kind of racial profanity. And the fact that that was allowed to be done within the game is crazy. And that's when people start to use like special characters in the titles and everything like that. So it's, you know, it's really important. And I kind of wanted to focus on that. I have like some notes on it, but there's a couple games that I've found personally. I don't play like every game under the sun. I play Apex Legends, I play Overwatch, and those are basically the two main games. I just started playing Paladins. I don't really have any feelings towards Paladins yet, although I did some research, and I found some really awesome stuff, actually. I was really surprised because I had to look up the actual maker of the game. But anyway, what I've noticed, which is like really funny. So World of Warcraft is mostly like, there's either three kinds of things that actually happen in game, right? There are people who go in there because they like to get into a group. They like to work together, and they like to raid. So they will, you know, week after week, try to down the same boss in the one dungeon every single time. And, you know, they have a lot of fun, just like teaming up together and everything else. This light is like in my face, and I feel like I'm like being interrogated by my own self, and that's really fucked up. So, and like, I've never been a raider. I've never like really enjoyed it because I get frustrated. I get frustrated because, like, you know, if you get somebody who doesn't have like the right mechanics and they like move the wrong way, and everybody gets fucking pissed, and then the whole place wipes. And if you're like new to game and you don't know what wipe is, that just means like you literally go in and the boss kills you all, like over and over and over again. So then you got to start over and reset the boss and keep going. I mean, there are people that have like raided for like 4 or 5 hours, like a couple of days a week. That's disgusting to me. Like, gross. No thanks. Then there's the PvP side, the player versus player side, which I'm all about, because I'm all about, you know, just going in there, smacking some fuckers around, and then like logging out and calling it a day. Like, that's about as much as my pea brain can handle. But there's a lot of like team building that happens there too. You know, you have to like learn certain moves against certain classes, and you have to practice. You have to practice. But it's really fun for me because you literally go in there and you know, you face off with somebody, and then, you know, you kill them, they kill you, and then you just spawn and you rinse and repeat, and it's like instantaneous. Like, I think what it comes down to is like, I'm just super impatient. But then there's the people that want to role play. Now, I've never been a big fan of that. It's just not something I'm good at. I mean, I feel like I might be able to do that now. Like, I feel like it would be cool. But I remember one of the first times I joined World of Warcraft, and I was in Stormwind, which is like the main like alliance city, and all of these people were like in a pub, right? Like, I don't know if anybody like, I don't know if anyone's played World of Warcraft, but if you have and you've and you've tried to role play, it's like fucking legit. Like there have been people who are in RP servers specifically that will like type out specific types of role play they want to do. Like there was a lot of people that wanted to do like, you know, high school or whatever. Like I just remember high school RP. That was like the big thing that people wanted to do. But I remember going into this one tavern because I had to like level up my cooking, and like you had to buy shit from the chef that was in the fucking tavern. And I went in there and there was like all these people like around the fucking table, and I was like, oh, like what the fuck's happening? Like this is the coolest thing like ever. And I remember sitting down, and so in World of Warcraft your names are like over your head, like your character name is over their head, right? So I was like, oh my god, sorry. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be so nice to this person. I'm going to go up there and I'm going to introduce myself and we're going to be besties. And so when I like went to sit down, I was like joining in on the conversation, and I could tell people were talking a certain way. And it was just like really funny to me. I'm like, what is happening? This is like huge. Like, so I went over to like the bartender and I asked for a beer. And then I like sat down and there was like this like really serious conversation going on between like these three characters. And I was like, oh. And I was like, well, all right, guys, I'm leaving. Bye, Bob, or whatever the fuck the guy's name was. And he's like, wait a minute. Excuse me. Like, that's not my name. I was like, what? He's like, how did you know my name to call me that? I was like, oh, well, it's over your head. And he was like, no. And like, apparently I like broke like the law of RP. Like you are not supposed to call somebody their name until they officially introduce themselves to you and with their character name. And let me tell you, like I was mortified and I ran my ass out of there, and I was like, you know what? Like I'm never RPing again in my friggin' life. So now that's a special kind of community, but the people who do it, like they understand the needs. So you know, they you know, they'll build guilds around it. And because they understand the needs of the certain types of players that they're looking to attract, they know how to get them in. So they'll, you know, maybe give out a theme of what their role play is going to be, and, you know, the days and the times and whatever else. So, you know, it's really important, like in a community, a really big community like a World of Warcraft, is because there's so many different ways and so many different types of people, so many different ways to get people in. It's really important that you are very specific in the type of player that you're looking for. And when I was a GM of mature content, like we had the most elaborate onboarding plan like ever on the planet, to a point where people that joined our guild thought we were either crackheads or the like fucking most put together guild on the planet, which we were the most put together guild on the planet. And maybe we were like smoking a little crack on the side too. I mean, there's that. Yes, I will teach you to play WoW. You want to play WoW, Khaleesi? And yeah, Alyssa, it's definitely awkward. Like I remember feeling awkward, and I was like, these people, like, what is happening? Like, I don't have any idea, like, what the hell is going on at all. Like, what's even happening here? And I just knew I never wanted to do it again. I actually did try it one other time, to be honest. Like, and I don't know what came over me, but I was like, oh, today I think I'm just going to be a girl that goes to every tavern. I'm going to sit out there and I'm going to journal. Right? And so I'm like embarrassed to say this. So I literally would like walk around Stormwind, and you could like buy these little like dresses from like the little shop owners. Like they had NPCs like all throughout the town, and like you could go to like the tailor and like buy like these little frocks, right, and like put them on. Then you would just walk through town and be like, oh, like Josephine casually, you type in the chat, Josephine casually strolls through Stormwind and heads over to the fucking, what, I forget, it was the name of a spider. It was like the Black Widow Cafe, right? So I'm like, Josephine like struts. I'm like, I don't know if my name was Josephine. Josephine struts over and sits down at the table. Sigh. And like, you have to literally like do all the punctuation and everything. So you're like literally typing out loud, and like people are like watching as you go by. And there's like, actually, there's a feature in WoW. There's a feature in WoW where you could actually do like chat bubbles over your head. So you could literally walk through town going, oh, like sigh, I'm gonna go write a journal entry at the Blue Lagoon, whatever the hell it was. I like literally did that one day. And you know what? It was actually kind of nice because like nobody came up and engaged with me. I was probably doing it wrong, but I felt like I was like super cool, and I felt like I was part of like the RP like cool kids for a little bit, and that was fun for me. But literally, I never did it again after that. So yeah, flips. That's the thing. Flips hair. Let me tell you something. There was this. I'm gonna go down all kind of rabbit holes, but you know what? I do what I want. There was a server in World of Warcraft. There's still a server in World of Warcraft called Moonguard. And it was notorious. I'm telling you, it takes all kinds of different types of people. It was notorious for ERP, which is erotic roleplay. The problem is, even though World of Warcraft sets an age limit on their game, just like any other game, kids can still get access. So I remember one of the first times somebody said, "Hey, have you ever heard of this server?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Oh, well, you know, if you go to this tavern, people dance on the tables." And I was like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah." And like, you totally want to like, you name yourself with a character with like a funny name, you know, and then you just go and watch them and laugh. And I was like, okay. So you want to know what I named mine? So I made a Draenei, and her name was Lady Lumps. Her name was Lady Lumps. Her name was Lady Lumps, and we went to, I forget the name of the tavern right now, and I can't believe I forget it. The Golden Lion or something? The something Lions Inn? I don't remember. But I'm telling you, you would go in there, and there would just be characters sitting in chairs like this. And there would be other ones just like dancing on the table. It was like out of like a Star Wars movie or something. Yeah, Lady Lumps. Lovely. Yeah. Lady Lumps. And I was like mortified. I was like, all right, I don't know that I belong here because this is super awkward. And these are like characters like sitting around. But I'm telling you, it was like being a voyeur, and like you run up and down the stairs. There's all kinds of conversation. And here's the thing. People, yeah, ma'am, this isn't a Wendy's. You would like go upstairs, and people like, they had the chat bubble, so you could see all these different conversations going on throughout the whole thing. Like people like going back and forth and just like standing around and just like dancing, and mostly people just like shouting back and forth to each other. It was like a really good hangout spout. It was a really good hangout spot for when you were like in between battlegrounds, which is really great. But I was like, I don't think I can do this. You know what the sad part was? Not really the sad part, but the unfortunate part of it was that server had some of the best PvPers I had ever played with in game. Interesting, right? So you really had a blend of like people who wanted to raid, people who wanted to PvP, people who wanted to roleplay, people who wanted to erotic roleplay. So if you were smart and you had to wait in between battlegrounds, you did not go into the inn. You knew, do not go to the inn. It is bad news. So a lot of us that wanted to do PvP would just like stand outside and like stand on the fence, or we'd all duel each other, because that's what every cool kid does. We all duel each other. Let me tell you about the big swinging virtual dicks in PvP outside. Yo, 1v1 me, bro. You know, when people say that, it's a real thing. It literally happens every day in World of Warcraft. 1v1 me, bro. You can't beat me. Like, you talk shit to somebody, they're like, duel me. Duel me, bro. Duel me. And then you get the other person that says, well, hold on, wait a minute. Let me get on my main. And then they go and they get on their main. And then you just watch these two ass smacks like sit there and duel each other, and just it's just funny. And then if you were lucky, the other faction would come and raid you. Like, a lot of times there was this thing called World PvP. And so you'd get like, so there's Alliance and the Horde in World of Warcraft. By the way, we're like getting like World of Warcraft 101 over here, okay? The Horde would literally come in like droves, and you had to flag yourself for PvP. So you had to actually go into your settings and show that you were available for PvP. Because a lot of times they would just come and like they'd go into the inn and they'd like kill all the characters that were in the inn. So they were like, yeah, fuck these guys, and then they just killed them all. And you just see like bones all over the place. Like after the person's body like timed out, you would just see bones all over the floor. So that's what the Horde would do. They would come in, they would like demolish everybody, and then they'd go about their merry day. I'm telling you, it was like I love that game. Like, I love that game just for the dumb shit like that happens. But that's the kind of stuff, though, like, when you play long enough, I don't know if it's good or bad for a community a lot of the times, but there's all walks of life. Like, you go there, you'll find something to do. If you want to go and pick flowers in the field, you can go ahead and do that. You want to be around all the deer and everything else, you could do that. You want to pretend like you live in a castle in Stormwind, you could do that. Like, there was just a lot. So, anyways, back to community. The thing I really like, so I actually, I started playing World of Warcraft. My brothers got me into it, and I knew nothing about the game. And I remember I was a warrior, and her name was Satire. That was like the first character I ever made. Yeah, you listen, you can be an herbalist and just run around picking flowers all day. And I'm telling you, it is oddly satisfying and calming to just fly around, walk around, unless the spiders attack you, and then that sucks. Because the spiders are little assholes, and they will attack you if you're low level, and they will murder your soul. Just saying. Yeah, so Locktar Ogar, no, you did not just speak word to me. You did not just speak word to me, Dr. O. I have POAPs for everybody. Yes, look at that orc face. Oh my gosh. Just DM me if you do. I should really make this a smaller. It's like a super long, annoying thing. Get my POAP. I have POAPs for everybody. There is an automated system that's up, but I didn't officially launch it. But, you know, just for shits and giggles, if you guys actually wanted to try out this code here. Oh, did that not work? Actually, the POAP one, the other POAP one, it might allow you to automatically, it just doesn't seem to work. I don't know. I don't have faith right now in the automated system that they put together because I really just don't feel like it works. So I'm just going to do old school until it works the way I want it to work. But anyway, so going back to my WoW days, my brothers invited me to their guild called Brood, and it was literally just a bunch of like dirty joke telling dudes. I mean, they were nice. I mean, you know, they were never going to be mean to me because, you know, my brothers, right? But they were like, now that I look back, there was like a lot of sexism, a lot of racism that went on, you know, and you just kind of like go with it. Like, I didn't know how to play the game. I remember, this is why community is super important, okay? I didn't really have a lot of people to teach me the game, even though I was invited to my brother's guild. And even though I felt like, okay, well, I have a home in game, everything should be great. It wasn't. And I didn't know about the game. So, by the way, if you're a warrior in World of Warcraft, right, you can only wear plate armor or mail armor. And so I didn't know that. So I'm running around with fucking cloth. Okay. I'm running around dressed like I was like a fucking healer. I really was. I had no idea. But then I realized, oh, like this armor looked cute. Like I had a shield and I had a sword and I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like I'm so good at this game. And then World of Warcraft had put this thing called Dungeon Finder in. So because I didn't have people to play with, you could actually queue up and get into a dungeon with random people. So this was like one of the worst experiences I ever had in this game. And I almost quit the game after this. So this is why it's important to have like a strong community. So I was like, there's a lot of people that play the game just because they want to log in and do their own thing. A lot of people just, you know, they don't know what they don't know. And for me, I didn't know things. I had nobody to really show me the ropes. So there's people like wandering around, not really knowing what to do. And if they get in with the wrong crowd, then you're screwed. But so for me, like I remember queuing up for this dungeon finder. And I remember getting into this dungeon, and this little gnome fucker, like he was a little asshole. And I say he's a little gnome because his character was a little fucking gnome and he was so rude. And I remember like there were these moves and it was like called thunderclap, right? And I just like, it's where you stomp the ground and you try to get the whatever thing it is you're fighting to come to you, like you aggro them, it's called. So you get there, you taunt them so that they attack you and not the rest of the raid. And so I kept doing that, not realizing, because I wasn't the tank, I was just a just a regular damaged person, I kept taking like aggro away from the main tank, and they were getting really pissed off at me. I was like, I don't know what's happening. Like, I don't know why these people are yelling at me. Like, why were they mad? Like, I had no fucking idea, right? Can you imagine if it was you, Dr. O? Can you imagine if it was you? I think I just spit. I'm telling you. They kept saying, let's boot this stupid fucking warrior. What an idiot. You don't know what you're doing. And I was just like, I remember my face just getting so red because I really didn't know. I was like, I thought I was just doing the moves. Like, I was a button smasher. That was so good for button smashing, right? And I just remember, like, after that dungeon, they kept threatening to kick me, and they were like, we're not going to give you any of the gear that drops, so fuck you, you're not getting anything. And then the dungeon was over, and you get booted out of it. And I just remember, like, I was so, like, in tears, and I, like, logged off, and I was like, I told my brothers, I'm like, I'm never playing this game again. People are so mean. And it took, like, weeks for me. Like, can you imagine, like, a new person that doesn't really understand or know how to do things? Because I'll tell you what, World of Warcraft is a lot of things. It is not intuitive. Like, you are not going to log in and be like, okay, like, I know how to do everything. Like, you have to sit and read every nook and cranny. So if you don't join that game, at least knowing somebody that will take the time to walk you through everything that you can do, it's really hard. Yeah, that gnome fucker, I'm telling you, little bastard. You know what? I would have punted his ass if I could have. Fucking. By the way, I've done events where it's called Punt a Gnome. But, no offense, but it's really fun. Gnome darts, actually. We did gnome darts. Yeah, gamers are brutal sometimes. Gamers are brutal sometimes, and you avoid competitive games. You know what? And see, that's the shame, because the game can be super fun when played with the right people. And again, that's why community is so important. It took me a while to log back in, and when I did, the strangest thing happened. Well, two things happened. I'll tell you this. Two things happened. It was very easy for you to get hacked if you had add-ons into your game. And you just, like, what I like to call click the monkey. If you click the monkey, I got hacked. I got hacked. And I just remember somebody being online saying, oh my God, your character, you keep logging on to all your characters and they're naked. So if somebody hacked your account, what they would do is they would log on to every single one of your characters. They would vendor everything in your bags. They would vendor it, to one of, like, the little, vendor places, like, inside town. And then you would get in-game gold. And your character would literally be sitting there in a bra and underwear in the middle of town with empty bags and everything. And it was so horrible. Okay. And, like, I'm just going to turn up music a little bit so we can. So when this happened, I was, like, in tears. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. So I had to contact Blizzard. Not fucker ones, monkey fucker. Listen, I should show you what the gnomes look like, shouldn't I? Oh, maybe I can actually show you. I want to show you my account, actually. Should I? You guys want to see it? You want to see what World of Warcraft looks like? I don't know if I have a gnome, though. So there I am. My character is naked as fuck, sitting in the middle of Stormwind. And I had nothing. I had fucking nothing. They took all my gold. And so the thing is, what they could do is, and it's worse now, because you could actually take in-game gold and you can buy game time with it. You can buy subscription time. But what these guys would actually do is they would, like, hold all this in-game gold in, like, random banks, and they would sell it to people in the game. It was so fucked up. It was so fucked up, you guys. Like, really oh shit, World of Warcraft needs an update. I'm not going to be able to show you guys today, but you know what? I'll show you tomorrow. I will show you guys tomorrow because I should log in there. But I'm telling you, like, it was so sad. It was so fucking sad, you guys. It was horrible. But I met this really nice girl, and her name was Crystal, who her name was actually Jen, I realized after, later on, because a lot of times you don't like to give people like your real names if you don't know them. She and her mother-in-law had actually said, you know what, we feel really bad for you, and they gave me gold. And I was like, oh my God, that was the nicest thing. There's 2 instances where people, like, the nicest things that ever happened to me. And from those moments on, I said, if anybody ever plays this game, I'm going to treat people the way that these people treated me. And that's like really how it started. I got more involved in guilds and trying to bring people in so that nothing like the shit that happened to me would ever happen to anybody else. It's still going to happen. I can't save everybody. You can't save everybody, but you can do your damnedest to do it. There was another instance, and I'm still friends with that girl, by the way. I'm still friends with her forever and ever. Like, I actually joined her guild and I met a lot of her friends. And that was the difference between me quitting a game and never playing again because of my bad experience. And it totally turned it around. I found her, and she had like, some family members, her husband at the time, her son, I think her daughters actually played too. So it was like a whole family, but it was filled with the nicest people I ever played with in my life. We weren't like the best players, but there were people who were kind. There were people that were just like really giving of their time. Were happy to walk you through how to do things. And it literally changed my gaming experience. It changed my gaming experience. And I'll never forget that. There was another instance too, where it was actually before my character had gotten hacked and whatnot. I was just wandering around trying to learn how to play this fucking warrior because I had no idea what I was doing. And this older man, I don't remember his name, but he was a trucker. He said he had had a son about the same, age as me. And I remember he would show me, he's like, hey, here's the things you need to, to wear for your character. Here's how you upgrade them and blah, blah, blah. He even used to like take me through like different areas of Azeroth. Sorry, I'm like burping monster. And like tell me where I can get like the best like swords and everything. And he was so kind to me. I wish I remembered his name. But anyways, those were the 2 instances that really jump started wanting to make a difference in the game for people. So I know that's kind of like turned into, this is really the story of why communities are really super important. And the best thing I ever did, and it actually helped me in my real life with teaching people, is being a guild master for mature content. We had documents. We had meetings every month, the GMs. We had meetings every month. We had 12 servers across Azeroth. It was like thousands of people. We would bring people in to Discord. First we used TeamSpeak. I don't know if anyone has ever like heard of TeamSpeak or ever used TeamSpeak, but it was before Discord became a thing. And we had to adjust, but we had this thing called the landing pad. So I'm tapping my mic. ASMR, guys. We would bring them in. So as soon as they would connect, they would go to the landing pad. And so the GMs and officers would go in there, introduce ourselves, and we'd ask them about their experience with Discord. And if they said, yeah, I know how to use Discord, then we'd be like, all right, cool. Like, we wanted everybody to have a headset so it wasn't like loud and obnoxious, for the people that, were in chats together. We'd bring them up. We'd introduce them to the people who were in voice chat, because by the way, like right now, like what you see in a lot of Discords is people just like to text. There's not a lot of people that really hang out in voice chats. It's really more predominantly voice chat. So we'd bring them in, introduce them, tell them what server they're on, and they'd make friends. And then they'd group up and then they'd play together. And that's how we got people really into it. We'd walk them through all of our different channels, announcements, here's where the guild events are. And then we had realm specific. So if we had certain things going on in one of our realms, like for instance, like on mine, well, we did guild lotteries, which are super fun, but we also needed materials. So we had like guild banks. So if we needed certain donation types, like, hey, we need people who can like donate herbs, we would like post that in our channels, right? If somebody didn't have any experience with Discord, and we had a lot, so we have a lot of you know, people who are retired, people who just maybe they weren't like really keen on technology. They didn't really know how things really worked. So, you know, it was incumbent upon us to really understand the structure of Discord and teach people how to use it. So we would bring them in, we would walk through the settings. So for anybody who doesn't know, I did that as part of TheLuvjonze, my other life, was walk people in the NFT community through Discord. Very, very super basic. Here's how you use Discord. And I treat that a lot how I treated onboarding new people into Discord in video gaming. Just walking them through, here's all the different settings, here's how you can protect yourself from, you know, getting unwanted direct messages or anything of that nature. Don't click the monkey. But we would teach them how to, you know, get their headset set up and everything else. I mean, things have gotten so much easier now. But I'm really proud of what we used to do. We really would walk people through every single thing. On top of that, something that we did that was really super, super important is we had town halls. We hosted town halls once a month, sometimes twice a month. And every single one of our GMs would talk about, you know, what it's like on their servers. We'd invite new people. And it wasn't for people who were just in our guild. We'd bring people in that were maybe kind of curious about joining us. So we'd walk them through everything. We had a website. We had everything. So we would walk, it would be like, you know, a couple hours sometimes, because we would have hundreds and hundreds of people show up that wanted to be walked through. And and here's the great thing too, is like people who are already in the guild who had probably sat through those meetings 99 billion times would still come. They would still come and they would support each other. And that is why I just, you know, feel strongly about onboarding into communities. There's a way to do it thoughtfully where people feel very included. And that is what I think is super powerful about Discord. Now, I'm not a huge fan, like in the NFT space. Like if you ask me, Discord should go away because I don't think it's being used correctly. I don't think most people know how to use it correctly. They just want to do it because they want to get, you know, people pumped into their Discord, but they're not thoughtful about it. So I feel like if every NFT project actually brought people in that they really wanted, they could actually have more power in cultivating their community. But it's very hard when people are spending money with you. That's the big difference between that and gaming, is that in a gaming community, you're all together because obviously you like the game that you play, but it's not fun playing by yourself a lot. I mean, I spend a lot of time in games playing by myself. I don't know if anybody else does this, but like I'm a loner. I never used to be a loner, but now I just log in, do my thing and log off. But I'll tell you, when you have a friend or 2 or 3 or 10 that you can log in and play with at any time, it just makes things so much more fun. But thoughtful onboarding is really, really important. And that's one huge thing. That's one big, huge pillar for anybody that is leading a community, thinking about starting a community. You want to make sure that you're very clear in your messaging about what your community brings to the table, how you can help people, and how it's going to make things fun for them. That's super important. Aside from that, there are some gaming communities that I think, and you know, I use the term community like lightly because I'm not really engaged in a lot of these communities per se. I play the game, right? So I'm part of the community. But I really think that game developers have more power to like bring in certain types of people to make their gaming, I want to say gaming community. I keep using the word community. It's honestly kind of annoying. So I'm sitting in my brain going, what else can I call it? So there's a lot of games that actually do really good shit. Basically, when in doubt, throw a curse in there. So, Overwatch is awesome. Overwatch is awesome because they've really done a lot to start to integrate people of color, different races, and they started introducing characters who are gay and bi and pan and all of that, which is like amazing. And a lot of people don't think about it, but somebody, I forget who actually said this quote, but I remember somebody saying, you know, why, somebody asked this person, why is it so important to see, to have somebody that has your skin color or, you know, is the same sexuality as you, right? And that person responded, and I'm totally gonna fuck it up, but this person said that it was really important because when you can see somebody who represents you on a screen, that like opens your mind, that just makes things possible for you. It makes things exciting. It makes you feel like, wow, that's somebody that looks like me, and you feel more connected to that. And I just thought, and again, like obviously that was like hugely paraphrased, but that was like the theme of what the conversation was, is when you see something that just really connects with you, it just makes things, it just opens up worlds of possibilities. And another game that I think is just, this is one of my favorite games ever, and I don't know who, Timbote, what's up? You chill and drink coffee in your community or your guild? Sorry, I'm like behind on chat. I'm sorry, guys. Apex Legends. Oh, if you guys want a POAP, don't forget, exclamation, get my POAP. Just send me a DM. I'm gonna go back and like, I'll remember who else is here. I can probably send them out actually while we're talking, to be honest with you. Actually, I don't know if I can do it through here. I'll do it after stream. I will send you all links. Apex Legends is probably one of the most inclusive games I've like ever been a part of, like honestly, or been aware of. I feel like it's just so common to find somebody who is of a different skin color and religious background, and their stories are amazing. Like what they've done with the lore and just making everything so acceptable and normalizing, it's amazing. So for those of you who do not play Apex Legends, it launched, I think it's only been around for like 3 years, the game. Apex Legends is free also, by the way. And it's cross-platform. So they introduced characters who are, I think there's like at least 3 gay men. I think there's 3 gay women. There's 2 pansexuals. I'm trying to think what else. But they do so much in their game. And not only that, like the lore that they put together in the stories, if you've ever like seen them, like I highly recommend like going to their Twitter, and their Twitter is @playapex, and just look at some of like the fan art and all the different stories that they've actually put out about the different characters. It's like amazing. And another cool thing that they actually do in the game is they have comic book pages. And you unlock them, like you pick up a treasure pack as you play the games, and you unlock a comic book page. So you like really get immersed in the story, and that like really builds community in there. So that's something that their game devs have done that has been really great, because people love it. I'm telling you, if you were to go there, you could see so much fan art. People get so excited because they're like, wow, like I really connect to like Mirage, or I connect to like Bangalore. I'm like naming off some of the characters. So if you don't know who they are, I'm super sorry. But people connect with them. They connect with their stories. Like right now, one of the stories is one of the newer characters that just was brought on, called Newcastle. There's a connection between him and Bangalore, and she's been missing her brother. So there might be a connection that's her brother. I don't want to throw any spoilers out there. But the story mode in there is amazing. I call it story mode, but like when you go through all the comics, like, you know, it's more than just logging into a game and like, you know, beating the shit out of people and logging out, but like you can really get immersed in all of their different backgrounds. That's the stuff that like keeps people, like that's the stuff that keeps the player base really excited and wanting more and more and more. So that is something really cool. They actually have unlockable like little banners. I'm calling it a banner, and I know that's not the right thing, but they have like little logos. Wait, Twitch community? Is Twitch community good? Is the Twitch community good? Oh, yours. That's what you're saying. I'm sorry. So Apex also has badges that you can unlock. That's what they're called, badges. And so they do it for Pride. They do a huge thing for like Pride Month. They have mental health awareness, suicide awareness. They had Stop Asian Hate, Black Lives Matter. I'm anxious to see if they do something for women's rights or International, you know, Women's Day or something like that. I haven't seen anything like that yet, but I'm sure that they will do something, which I think is amazing. So they really they care passionately about their community. And they really listen. They really, really do. There was this other, anyone play Destiny? Does anyone play Destiny? I just heard about one of my friends, Dr. Nugget Pouch. He plays Destiny all the time. And I downloaded it, but I have not played it. But something that I found out that they do. So the company that created Destiny is called Bungie. And they have an actual foundation. They started the Bungie Foundation. I actually want to look this up real quick. They have the Bungie Foundation, and players can actually do charity events. Healing with entertainment. So the Bungie Foundation, they do iPads for kids. What else do they do? Healing with entertainment. So about them, Bungie Foundation reduces distress and suffering in children through entertainment and partners with humanitarian aid organizations in times of natural disaster and crisis. So the Bungie Foundation, I should probably switch so I can share my screen, but I'll share all of this information. So, you know, I'm very into charity gaming. It's something that's like been part of my heart and soul forever and ever and ever. Like the last 9 years, I will say. And mostly I created a gaming community called G3 Charity Gaming, and we basically mostly just stream for Extra Life in support of Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Twitch has a charity feature in development, so you can do charity streams with. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad that you actually mentioned that, because so for Extra Life, they actually have an app that integrates with Twitch as one of the extensions for Donor Drive. So you might be able to see it. I don't know if you're on desktop or mobile, but if you see a double D, sounds funny. It's for Donor Drive, and that will actually take you to our Extra Life page. You can join the team or you can make a donation. I don't expect anybody to do any of that right now, but I'm telling you, if you would like to play with us, it doesn't cost anything. You can just join the team, and we do one major stream. It's there's one major game day, and that is this year it's on November 5th. And it's a 24-hour game-a-thon, and you could do any game you want. You could do it, by yourself. We can all group together and play some games. And the cool thing about it is I always open my page up at the beginning of the year. So I had created our site in January of this year, which means we can actually raise money throughout the entire year. And then it stays open until December 31st. Hey! Icy Malacy! What's up, friend? How are you? I'm looking at chat. Hi, how are you? I was just talking about Extra Life and charity gaming. So if anybody's interested, the roster is full open. If you want to bring like your friends, your family, I would love to have as many people as possible and make it super, super fun. The last few years, I've actually just played Overwatch. I'm hoping so Overwatch 2 is going to be out in October. And I would love to play that game for my 24-hour stream. Although I don't know if I can play it for 24 hours, but I'll definitely, throw some other games in there. I might also, speaking of other gaming communities that have charity gaming. So Hi-Res Studios, for anybody that's not familiar, Hi-Res Studios is a developer that I just like discovered over the last couple months. They do Paladins, they do Titanfall. There's something else that they do, but so I just got into Paladins recently. You could be better. I'm good. How you doing, friend? What ails you, my friend? I'm glad that you're here and you're spending the time with me and the rest of the fam here. What the heck? So Hi-Res, so Paladins is like is very much like Overwatch. A lot of the movements are same and everything, and it's really fun. It's free, it's cross-platform, it's super awesome. But Hi-Res, this is what I discovered. So here's another company that's just like got community like top of mind. And here's what I'll tell you. If I can go to a gaming developer's website and in their little hamburger menu, just sounds funny to say it. If you look at their menu of things, and part of what they actually feature in their menu, their site menu is about charity and community, I'm like, this is the place for me. So I actually want to talk about them for a minute while we're going through different community. And by the way, I realize like I just feel like a little like a hot messy today. I probably should have just done my stream tomorrow. So Icy Malaysi, we were just talking about community and like the importance of nurturing a community and the different things that you can do in gaming to like make gaming just better environment for people. And I know I've been kind of like all over the place. I had my notes and then my daughter like, drew a picture, like, so I don't know where my notes went. But Hi-Res Studios, let me tell you guys, I like to I do my research on companies. I do my research on different charities too. So I look into everything that people are doing to make sure it's legit. So Hi-Res Studios, they actually have something called charity initiatives. And I was like, I love them. And their page, it's like, we're all about local community and making a positive impact. So they're located in Georgia. So a lot of what they've done for charities has been local. God, I love this. Actually, I want to figure out if I can... I want to show you guys this. Oops, sorry. I'm just messing around. Mainstream. Hey, this is not my usual stream, but I actually just want to share. Oh, shoot. Do you guys like this, by the way? What do you think of this overlay? I was messing around and like I wanted like something coffee-ish and Dunkin'. So I created this. Look, it's me in a little Dunkin' costume. Okay, I don't know. All right, let's go back. Let's go to this one. Let's not go to that one. Let's go to this one. Hi again. I'm back. I don't know what's happening with some of these alerts. They're just like literally not working at all. Oh, help me, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. Actually, I'm back again. I'm just messing around with stuff. What do you guys think? Okay, so here we are. I actually want to see if I can show you. I wanna show you this. All right. Yes, this is better. All right, so this is High Res Studios. Okay, these are the makers of Paladins. And so if you like go to their like landing page, I went to company and look at this shit. Charity initiatives, that was like, hell yeah. Like that made me so happy. So clicked there. I'm just so loving this. And then when you scroll down, and I love this, like on the mobile app, it looked so nice because when you click on these tiles, it like tells you what they've done. So look at this, Extra Life. So this is Extra Life. This is actually the old logo though. Not to call you out, High Res, but this is the old Extra Life logo. And you click on it and it tells you, we had the opportunity to host a 24-hour charity stream. I actually wonder if they're going to do it again. I was thinking about reaching out to them and seeing if they would collaborate with my charity gaming team and join us. Or maybe like, you know, if we did like a Paladins tournament, like one of my friends had done a Paladins tournament and it was pretty cool. So I was like, I think that would be kind of fun for everybody. If whether or not, like, you don't have to have like previous experience playing Paladins, but I thought it would like be really super fun. That would be a nice little community event. Atlanta mission, and then it tells what they did here. I feel like I'm doing like Wheel of Fortune here, and I'm Vanna White. American Red Cross. Like, look at all this. All these different types of charities that they involve themselves in. They're all local, which is amazing. What is this one? St. Baldrick's. That's really nice. Boys and Girls Club. Girls Make Games. I never heard of them. 2021 International Women's Day. So it looks like, well, I mean, it's still early in 2022. Make-A-Wish, Child's Play. So Child's Play is another organization, you guys. I think, so part of what I'd love to do in my gaming community, my charity gaming community, is get involved in other charities. So if you guys have ideas, if you want to join my Discord, there's a link to it in my link tree as well. It's really kind of a quiet Discord. I only post like updates about what we're doing with events, and if there's other like games and whatnot that are going to be doing some events, I post that information there. But I really want to get more and more people involved in this because I just feel like, you know, there's a lot of toxicity in gaming, but there's so many people doing positive shit out there. So many people doing positive shit. And I just want to share it with everybody. So, I mean, Child's Play is another big organization. There's also one called One Up on Cancer that is really amazing too. They also help veterans, which is great. So much going on. This International Women's Day, love that. Games 8, I've never heard of them. It looks like a local, maybe. But anyway, so like this just gives you an example of some of the things that that a lot of these big companies are doing to keep their communities and their employees engaged too, because I'll tell you something, yes, what up? Gosh, Rosie, I miss being Rosie. I miss being Rosie. I was gonna say, Activision Blizzard has like a big they went through the ringer after last year with all the sexual harassment allegations. Things are not looking great for them. And it's funny, not haha funny, but when I go on their website and I look at some of the initiatives in place, like they're just a typical corporate company that, you know, spews out, hey, we are all for inclusivity and equity and blah, blah, blah. And really, like, the people that work there might be that way. But from the top down, like, if you get the leadership and they don't even follow their own fucking, like, principles that they put in place, it's a fail. It's just a fail. So it makes me really sad for the people who are still working their asses off for Blizzard, Activision, and they have to like work for a CEO, which I think Bobby Kotick actually resigned, right? I think, if I recall correctly. It's crazy. Like, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to like feel like you're somebody that really wants to make change, and then you work for somebody who's like says that they're all about change, but when it comes down to it, they don't give a fuck. That makes me mad. And by the way, I wasn't picking my nose. I was just, Anyway. I know I kind of like went down rabbit holes. That's what I'm super good at. So if you like totally enjoy rabbit holes and just talking about random shit a lot of times, I'm going to do my best to stay on topic. That's why it's really a lot better if I have a guest. Speaking of which, August 5th, I have a very good friend of mine joining us. His name is Zach, aka Instigator TV. He is like literally the king of positive vibes. I actually met him playing World of Warcraft. He was in my guild. Just a really great guy. Just a really super amazing, positive guy. And he does so many nice things for people. He has a really great TikTok where he likes to share information with people on how to like get their streams up and running, how to use Stream Deck, how to use alerts. He just is a genuine human being that just wants to help people. And he's great. He's great. And I'm so happy to have him. So that's next. So yeah, so tonight, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about community building and nurturing, which I probably could have done a better job. But I wanted to share my experiences because a lot of the shit that I've gone through just in the games that I've played shaped me to want to do the things that I'm doing now. Like I'm a mom who has a daughter who, is kind of following the same gaming path, and she's really good. Like she could be a professional gamer. And I would hate for her to be, hitting up against the obstacles that I hit when I first started, where people are not kind and nice. And I don't expect everybody to be that way, but if we can at least put it out there and make places like, a guild where people actually care and want to onboard you and want to help you, that is like a huge difference. So that is what I'm all about. If you know me, you're here, that's what I'm all about. I truly, deeply care about people, and I just want everybody to feel like they're part of something, because that is hugely important. What else do I want to leave you with this evening? I'm going to see if I can find my notes after my daughter's beautiful drawing. I don't have my notes, guys. I actually, can I just tell you? It's like almost 100 degrees here in New Jersey, and I was like sitting outside because it was like cold in here. Like, why did I think it was too cold? I went outside and I sweated my ass off, but I was like taking my notes, and I was like, what am I doing? Why am I out here taking my notes? I don't even know what they did. I don't even know where they went. And I